Good evening and Happy New Year to those that are celebrating the New Year 2022. I'm your host, Che and Kruma. I'm joined by my other host, Lady Che. And we will be discussing several things tonight. We're continuing on where we left off with 2021 in regards to the tangibles. It is now Tangibles 2022. We're still demanding something for our vote. We're not just going to keep giving our vote away in this new year. So the first topic is going to be Tangibles 2022. The next topic is going to be the Mississippi man who was thrown on the ground by the police in Vicksburg, Mississippi. The next topic after that is going to be Fort Lauderdale White Supremacist runs over Black children. Polis has reduced the illegal immigrants' time from 110 years to 10 years. Peter Spencer, Jamaican immigrant, killed by white supremacists in Pennsylvania while on hunting trip. Getting off the Democratic Plantation. Unhoused Neighbor news and Unhoused Neighbor sweeps. So, as we ended off 2021, we're going to start off 2022 demanding our damn tangibles. So, this is the year, the decade of tangibles. This whole 2020 decade is going to be spent on getting tangibles for foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, the people that built this country, people that the wealth of this country was generated off the backs of. We're going to continue to demand something for our vote, Black family, if we're going to continue to participate or cooperate with this political system. So we're not letting up. We're going full throttle. We're carrying the momentum of 2021 into 2022. And we're telling you here on Frontline Black News, any of these politicians that are seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote.
Right now.
Now you say, what is tangible? Tangible is something concrete, something substantive, something you can count, measure, touch, feel, not symbolism, not the first this, first Black this, the first Black that. That's symbolism, Black family. We're talking about reparations, tangibles.
That's right.
In the form of $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities, that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people. So the malign neglect policy is still in effect. The whole point of Tangibles 2020 was to shed light on that and to enlighten you on the fact that you've been lumped into broad, ambiguous terms such as people of color, minorities, marginalized, disenfranchised, advantaged, underprivileged, underserved, underrepresented, and the list goes on and on and on. And here on Frontline Black News, saying enough is enough of that. And as we go into 2022, we're going to continue to bang the drum on the tangibles. So it's Tangibles 2022 now. And we're not letting up. So once again, any politician, including myself, that is seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote. I am planning on running for mayor of Denver in 2023. And I expect you to hold me accountable, just like you hold any of these other politicians accountable. Demand something tangible for your vote, Black family. Stop just voting just to be voting. Stop just voting because the white-owned media told you to vote, or out of duress, or anybody but Trump, or any other madness and nonsense and confusion that was going on in 2020, that was going on in 2021. Enough is enough of that, Black family. This is 2022, and we're not going to take it anymore, Black family. We're just not. So, if you're going to participate in this political process, demand something tangible for your vote. That's all we're stressing here on Frontline Black News. We're not telling you who to vote for, what to vote for, any of that. We're saying any of these candidates that are seeking your votes, demand something tangible. Demand a black agenda. Demand that they do something specifically for you. They do something specifically for all these other groups. They do something specifically for the LGBTQ. They do something specifically for the illegal immigrants. And we still waiting on you Biden supporters to tell us what tangible benefits we're getting from a Biden administration. Because Biden's been in office almost a year, and we have got nothing tangible from having Biden and Kamala Harris in office. But, you know, it was anybody but Trump, and we just couldn't have 4 more years of Trump, and we just had to get rid of the orange man. He just had to go. So now we got Jim Crow Biden, Sleepy Joe, that's been defecating and shitting all over himself in office and telling us to go fuck ourselves every time we demand something for our vote. So you have to be smoking all kinds of meth, crack, whatever, if you think that he's going to get reelected in 2024. The Democrats are done, and we're going to have a segment on that later on about black people leaving the Democratic Plantation. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But the Democratic Party is done, black family. And it's a sinking ship. They're imploding on themselves. Their approval ratings are plummeting. And nobody is feeling them. So they're going to have a long uphill battle come 2024, especially if Trump decides to run again, or get this, DeSantis of Florida decides to run for president. So get ready, black family, for what's coming in the coming years. So in this time of 2022, we're going to be preparing for all of that. And if we don't participate in the political process, both the two-party system can collapse. And I welcome the collapse, but it's long overdue, just like our reparations. So that's Tangibles 2022. I hope I answered any questions you might have on what tangibles are and what Tangibles 22 is all about. But it's just stating we're going to demand something for our vote if we're going to vote at all.
My thoughts is this: cut the check, reparations, or resign. And hold your vote like you hold your swiller. Hold it close to you, because that's what they want. They want the black vote like something crucial. So don't give it to them. Hold your vote. And if the shit collapses, cool. Great. Better for us. Let it collapse. We can rebuild. Y'all just really ain't paid attention to this. Rebuild is the key. You know what I mean? Let it collapse. Let it implode on itself. Let them both take a shit in each other's face. Don't give a fuck. Just hold your vote till they give you something tangible. Not symbolicism either, black family. No, we love symbolic gestures. No more symbolic gestures, okay? All you gotta do is just realize if you can't feel it, touch it, hold it, smell it, taste it, it's not real, it don't exist. So, tangibles. Thank you.
Ramel, did you have anything to add on Tangibles 2022?
Well, first of all, my name is Ramel. I'm the anchor man, the angel of peace from the east. Understand and understood in the neighborhood of you, bringing the hope without the dough. Official frontline campaign. Salute to the fallen soldiers. Salute to the real soldiers alive, coming out the beehive stinging. You know, and as far as tangibles, I want my check. You know, and the diaspora blacks, we're on board with that. We co-sign, we concur. That's what's going on from dusk to dawn. And, you know, we're here for revolution. We ain't sleeping, but we're creeping. You know, this ain't a dream. This is the American scheme. You know, and I'm trying to take it to the next level, the next scene. I want freedom now. You know, I want justice now. I want equality now. Not equality on your terms, but equality on my terms. Because equality on your terms means I'm still a slave. Equality on my terms means that you kissing my motherfucking feet. You know what I mean? So, you know, to each his own. You know, fuck the system, fuck the devil, and I'm still a rebel. Thank you.
Yep. and we have no friends. We have no allies. And on this New Year's Day, we celebrate the Honorable Dr. John Hendrick Clark. May he rest in power. And he's the one that taught us that we have no friends or no allies, Black family. So we're all that we got. The next topic is Mississippi man thrown to the ground by the police in Mississippi. So I don't know if you've seen the video. It's been circulating on social media about this brother that was thrown on the ground by the police.
Yeah, all right. Well, I seen it, and here's my opinion on that. That big ass motherfucking man, how dare he throw another brother on the ground like that, and then have the audacity to put all his motherfucking weight on the back of this man's neck and think it's tight. Where the whole time he's looking at the white man, the white officer, like, do you approve? Do you approve? What the fuck is that about? Man, I was like, big ass motherfucking mongoloid motherfucking looking ass. That's how I felt about it. Like, are you serious? Cuz is that how we're gonna do our people? Didn't we not learn shit from everybody else who's died in that manner, including Mr. Floyd? Have we not learned anything? Apparently, this dude didn't watch the memo of somebody of his color, his shade, getting killed in the same fashion. So we're gonna roll this video for you, family, and we're gonna show it to you. I had my strong ass opinions. I did not like it. I did not like this scene whatsoever. I was very, very highly disgusted. Oh, look, we have a guest.
We're joined by Christian Mata.
We have a guest.
Hey, brother, introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are. And we just got done talking about Tangibles 2022. And now we're on Vicksburg, Mississippi. Black man thrown on the ground by the police.
Okay, say that again.
Introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are. And we just got done talking about Tangibles 2022. And now we're on Vicksburg, Mississippi. Black man thrown on the ground by the police.
Okay. I don't know. I'm Christian Mata, stuff like that and everything. So yeah. What's up?
Just 1 second. We
You hear me?
hold on. Yes, we can hear you. Hold on 1 second.
Did you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
I just said Christian Mata on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. All right.
Yeah. Did you hear me?
We're rolling this footage. Just sit with us for a minute. We're talking. Just hold on 1 second. Stop sharing. Stop sharing it real quick, and then go back to share.
It's just messing up a little bit. You still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep. Share screen. Okay. And then select window. You want to go to entire screen. Wait.
That's what I just did.
You're on the streamer. Go to entire screen. Go now.
All right.
Hold on 1 second, please. And you want to go for speak aloud.
No, you good.
Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see that video.
Can you see the video? Okay. So
I see it.
So y'all can
I see it. Yeah, go ahead. Now, when was this? Was this here?
No, this is in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Vicksburg, Mississippi.
This is for fair use. This is for education and commentary purposes. YouTube.
And the source is
WATP.
Yeah. 16 ABC.
So the ABC affiliate out of Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Yeah.
For kneeling on the back of a suspect in Vicksburg has been suspended without pay. The Vicksburg police chief says Officer Eddie Colbert was in the video throwing a suspect to the ground and kneeling on his back. The police chief says Colbert will also have to undergo a 45-day probationary period when he returns from his 15-day suspension and complete a course on anger management.
It's more to a story than what you see. And I think that everybody should have an opportunity to be proven innocent before you actually say that that person is guilty.
Other officers involved in the scene were given a 1-day suspension. Police say the man handcuffed was charged with disorderly conduct.
That's it.
That's it.
Now, what state was this?
Mississippi.
Mississippi, huh? All right.
Yeah, my thoughts is this, like, look, that shit was out of pocket. I don't care what dude did. As soon as he got on the ground, he was already in it. He was already submitting. He already put his hands behind his back. Already. So all that extra shit is unnecessary. And the fact that the chief covering it up, like, there's two sides to every story. Really, bitch? Why you only get charged with misconduct?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's it. He's just disorderly conduct. That ain't shit. That is nothing. That man threw him down. That man put all his weight. That was a big ass man. Be putting all his weight on another little man like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it says Vicksburg, Mississippi, a Vicksburg police officer who was suspended after a video of an arrest went viral will have to complete an anger management course. The video posted to Facebook and shared with 16 WAPT News shows an officer pressing his knee into the back of a man who was down on the ground with his hands behind his back. Mayor George Flagg said the police officer, Eddie Colbert, was initially suspended with pay. Chief Penny Jones said Tuesday, that changed to a 15-day suspension without pay, which will be followed by a 45-day probationary period and anger management training. It is more to
That's bullshit.
Than what you see, and to think that everyone has the opportunity to be proven innocent before we say that person is guilty, Jones said. Other officers at the scene were given a 1-day suspension. Police said the man in the video was charged with disorderly conduct. Yeah, this is complete bullshit.
Well, the fucked up thing is when people
You're breaking up, Josh.
Oh, no. I think the other brother was about to say something. Is it just... Oh, go ahead.
No, we're just waiting on you.
Oh, no, I was just saying, it's a bunch of bullshit until one day when we just start standing up, you know what I'm saying, against these punk-ass cops. I mean, they get away with all kind of bullshit. It was just like, I think it was maybe last week or something like that when I was down at a Kente and I seen some cops, you know what I'm saying, arresting a brother, right? Now, them not even knowing that I'm looking, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's community leaders looking and stuff like that. Now, they didn't have to slam the dude into the fucking car like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's just bullshit. But I made sure that I kept an arc. I was like, man, if some bullshit happened, I'm going to go right outside this motherfucker and it's going to cause some hell, And it's just like, they think they get away with shit that people don't see, And they just, I mean, racist cops is racist cops, the way it is. And I think one day, soon, we're going to get tired of that shit and just start standing up and just start fucking them up.
Yeah, I feel that day is real soon.
I mean, you got all this bullshit that they do, like even with the cop that got charged for manslaughter, which should have got charged for murder.
Yeah.
But even in her profile picture, when she was getting brought into the jail or whatever, she's smiling at the freaking camera, showing her white privilege. Like, oh yeah, you know, I'm about to get off, you know, and then you want to sit up there and shed some tears. It's like, bitch, you've been on the force for like 12-something years.
Yeah.
How do you mistaken fucking
Taser
what is
for
it? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, I mean the shit's it's all their days coming. You know what I'm saying? It's just not coming in the way that when it do come, they're gonna be feeling real stupid. You know,
Yeah.
I totally go, man. I'm just fed up with it. I mean, I done seen too much shit, man, with police and how they like treat black people. You know, I mean, and I think the guy said the cop stopped him because it was something about he thought he stole some gloves or something like that. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, he didn't have to slam the fucking dude into the fucking, you know, car like that.
You know, all they care
it's just like you think you're getting away.
You know, the police, all they care about is property. Their whole purpose is to maintain property and make sure your property stays. That's why they were the slave catchers when our ancestors were enslaved. They were the slave catchers. That's where they originate from. So they haven't one bit.
Yeah, and that Roman shield that they wear on every police car, you know what I'm saying, goes back into the whole fact about them being Romans and stuff like that. You know, and if you look at the Denver police emblem, you can see the whole Roman like fucking flat, like the eagle or whatever on there with that little shield. And I mean, all you have to do is just go and Google anything about the fucking Romans to know that even the own police that's here had that same fucking racist thing about it, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's about time for like a real good change and all that. You know, we need to go back, but go stronger. What the Black Panthers are doing, but take it to even more of a force, which I believe is getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
You know, because you know it's a bunch of bullshit, man. Fuck them.
Yep. Ramel, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, man. Fuck the police. Ain't about nothing good. They're about trying to destroy the black community, destroy the black image. You know, they keep proving it time and time again. You know, the police ain't about shit. And, you know, they ain't nothing but slave catchers and slave trappers and enslavers. And like I said, they started as the plantation police. Now they're the police department. And, you know, it's just sad to see people getting abused by the police and they can't even do nothing to defend themselves. You know, we can't attack. You know what I mean? All we could do is just, you know, picket, protest, and do forums and panels like this. But the day will come where the resurrection will happen and the people going to serve them a penalty that they're not ready for.
Right. Well, white supremacists are already on.
And it's fun. It's funny.
And more of these killer cops is getting more time. Is getting time, whereas in the past they weren't getting no time at all. So we're getting some momentum started, but I believe more needs to be done, no doubt about it. We need to do away with the police together.
And it's funny because studying a lot about how geocosmic and how the Earth and the universe, I was actually watching Ross Ben. He had actually a real good lecture by, if anybody hasn't caught it, peep it. It's Ross Ben 2022 Vision. It's on YouTube. It's a very, very, very deep thing. And what he's saying is because how Jupiter moved into Pisces, he was saying that you'll start seeing more opportunity for melanated people. And you already see it going on right now with the justice, because once you deal with like Jupiter, you deal with like Ma'at and you deal with Tahuti. Now, you know, Ma'at is basically true righteousness, you know? So we are awakening right now, and there's going to be a lot of shit that's getting ready to start happening, you know, to white folks, you know? And they know that their time is up, you know. That's why they come up with all these little gimmicks and shit like that, you know. And what we got to do is You know, I mean, I'm still for the bear arms, even though they want to try to disarm us with that, because they know that they work for the governing your mental and type of situation and shit like that. You know? I just get real upset about, you know, thinking about that shit, because in the last couple of past weeks, I done seen so much fucked up shit happening with, especially the Denver police and how they treat black people, you know?
Yeah.
And I tell them in a minute, you can kiss my black ass and you can, you know, take that badge and just take it old school, you know what I'm saying? Let's box, you know what I'm saying? Fuck your gun, you know?
Right.
And that's just me. But, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people like that, you know, that feel the same, you know.
But you know,
it's a fucked up situation.
You know, they're a bunch of cowards, so they gotta have that gun. They're not gonna get them.
Oh well, yeah, you know, they got punked in high school and shit. You know what I'm saying? They little pussy boys, so it's all good, you know. And I get so it's just a fucked up situation.
Yeah, shout out to our viewers. I hear you, Hadeen. He says it's all bullshit. We need to start giving them a taste of their own medicine.
I feel that. And it's already happening. It's not happening quick enough. You know,
yeah.
It's not happening quick enough. I mean,
it's still happening. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's the problem with the insurrection. Just wait till you see the resurrection.
And I feel that too, because I know that, and once that resurrection starts to happening, like we're in the beginning stages of that. You know, we're in the beginning stages. Like I see it all everywhere. I see more of our people, man, being more fully aware of what they call consciousness, but which is really fully aware. We're coming more fully aware. We're coming more. We're looking at things more how we should be looking at things, you know. And you know, like somebody actually, I seen a brother today, a good Muslim brother of mine. I hadn't seen in a while. He's like, yeah, man, about the New Year resolution. I said, my New Year resolution would be that all melanated people everywhere be prosperous this year. That we sit there and we get what we need that's coming to us. That's from people from behind walls, you know what I'm saying? That's people from just, you know, whether you're on the streets, you know, I mean, man, our people, man, we've been hurting too goddamn long. And it's about time for a damn change. And I think that change is very coming. And when I say soon, I mean like sooner than what I can express. You know what I'm saying? And everything. And I thank you for letting me come on the show and stuff like that. Cause,
oh yeah, no doubt.
You know, I can tend to talk too much sometimes, so I got to learn how to
you good,
let
bro.
my shit go.
Everything you talking is gems. It's valuable knowledge to hear. So yeah.
And big ups to Ramel, you know what I'm saying, brother? You know what I'm saying? Big ups to you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And everything, you know. Because like I said, I had chopped it up with you last night too. You know what I'm saying, and everything. And you know, like we as a people, man, we're good, man. It's so much, man, so much positive shit that I want to like just emphasize on. You know what I mean? Like I just it's just oozing out of me. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So you know, just you know, big ups to everybody. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, and just keep your head moving. You know what I'm saying? Because prosperity is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Keep your head on a swivel. You know, we got these crazy ass white supremacists that's shooting shit up. Like we just had that mug that just shot up them tattoo parlors out here in Denver and in Lakewood. So yeah, Black family, keep your head on a swivel at all times.
Yeah.
You're at war, and it's against an open enemy.
Yep.
So the next topic is going to really upset every last one of us. This white supremacist, the suspected white supremacist in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, ran over 6 black children.
What?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna
And
play
that made the news?
Yep. I'm gonna play the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Fair use YouTube. Fair use YouTube for content,
You back online.
education and commentary. Can you see it?
I haven't seen it.
Can you see it? Can you see it? Josh.
No.
Can you see the video?
And shit.
Can you see the video?
Can you see the video?
No, it's not showing up. Let me try this again. Entire screen. Here we go. All right, here's the video.
Trying to pull over the 13-year-old who was riding a dirt. The 13-year-old who was over the 13-year-old who was riding.
Here we go. This is the video right here. Fair use.
Run that happened in Wilton Manors. The sheriff's office says that we have some new details this morning behind the tragic hit and run that happened in Wilton Manors. The sheriff's office says that they have arrested this man, who they say was the driver involved in that heartbreaking crash that left 2 children dead and 4 others injured.
We want to go now to NBC6 reporter Nicole Lauren. She is live at the jail where he's being held. And Nicole, what do we know about him?
Well, his name is Charles Greer, and he is 27 years old, currently being held without bond here at the Broward County Jail. And we can tell you in an interview with the sheriff's office yesterday, he did confess it was him behind the wheel on Monday afternoon.
So as you can see on your screen, this is a suspected white supremacist.
In that horrific tragedy. Now let's get a look at his mugshot here. Right now, he is being charged with failure to remain at the scene of an accident involving a death, failure to remain at the scene of an accident involving a serious injury, and also failure to stay at the scene when there is a non-serious injury. Now that's 14 charges in all, the ones I just read being the most serious. Now the Broward County Sheriff's Office did say Greer was heading southbound on Powerline Road when he sped past a county bus and drove onto the sidewalk where those 6 kids were standing. Telemundo 51 got a video of a car being towed away from the scene that day. The tow truck driver telling us that was the vehicle involved. The Broward County Sheriff's Office says the car is a 2009 Honda Accord. People in this community grieving, especially.
Sorry, I'm having internet connection issues.
Harriet Lewis, who we spoke to, she was one of the first people in that apartment complex to rush downstairs and help.
I just seen them Christmas morning.
Oh, man. So sad. Just seen them Christmas morning.
Oh my gosh. They not my kids, they not my grandkids, but it still hurts. Just the fact knowing that it was little children that laid little bodies, lifeless bodies laying out here.
So that's their names. 2 of them were brother and sister.
The sheriff's office also releasing the names of those 6 children, the 2 killed in this tragedy, only 5 and 6 years old. Their names are Andrea Fleming and Kylie Jones. The 4 others injured, Drea Fleming, Laziah Stokes, Audrey Fleming, and Jonathan Carter. Now, Greer is going go before a judge this morning. Like I said, he is currently being held without bond. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Nicole Lauren, NBC 6 News.
Okay, so yeah, this should infuriate everybody that's watching. The suspected white supremacist decided to run over 6 black children, and he was acting a fool in the courtroom when they were getting ready to sentence him for what he did. So
I need to fucking. He won't go that far in prison.
That shit is crazy.
You know, man.
It's very upsetting. Folks, tears. I mean,
the thing about it is, like, if you got kids, or you got nieces or nephews or something like that, you know, you can just imagine how those parents is feeling right now. That's going on. But then you got to also too. We're dealing with the people who are fucking like, they're Asilis, is what the Yoruba call it. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have a fucking soul. They don't have a spirit. They don't have none of that. You know, so they're just fucked off.
yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I'm kind of like speechless at the point, because just to say that, like, for a white boy to sit up there and do the killing like that, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, and then right after Christmas, you know.
Yeah, right after Christmas, and a lot of sources are saying that this is retaliation for what's your boy's name?
Darryl Brooks.
What Darryl Brooks pulled in Wisconsin when he ran over a whole bunch of white people during a Christmas parade and killed a bunch of them.
I do remember that. And there was a white girl that got killed. When they like, because was that the protest that they had that was on Black Klansman movie?
No, that was they were having a parade for Christmas in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Oh, wait. I do remember hearing about that. I do. And he drove down the street and just hit all them white people and just killed them.
Yep.
I do remember hearing about that. Now, so how would, and they said that's, I'm sorry. What was you going to say?
Is like, that was an accident. You know what I mean? I don't think he meant to kill anybody. I think he was just trying to flee a scene. And he just happened to run through all that. But this dude did that intentionally. He hopped that curb intentionally. Kids are waiting for the bus, you know what I mean? That was an intentional kill. And the fact is that a couple of the little children's is related. So at least 2 of them watched their brother or sister die. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That right there is crazy. Like 3 of them are related. You know, the Flemings, they're related. So one of the little Fleming kids got killed, and the other 2 watched it, and they're sitting in the hospital hurt. Probably very emotional. You know what I mean? I mean, it's probably their sister or whatever that got killed. That right there is traumatic.
Yeah, it is. The whole situation is traumatic. But, you know, white supremacists go after soft targets, so they're going to go after our children and stuff like that. So,
well, how many of their children die in shootings? School shootings.
Schools all the time. We just had old boy at the end of last year in Michigan shoot up the school, and his parents got him the gun, and then they tried to elude the police.
And they trying to get him off. They trying to say like it was, and you know what's fucked up about that is this young fucking dude. He goes to school, brings an AR. Was it an AR? It was
he had a
it was an assault rifle.
No,
was it a handgun? Because I thought it was.
You're thinking of Rittenhouse.
It was yeah, well, no, because I know the one in Michigan, he had something that was, I know his mom and dad or somebody bought him a gun. He went and showed it to the kids at school, and then they took him to the principal's office. He went to the principal's office. They still didn't do nothing. I'm like, what kind of fucking red flags do you need? You know what I'm saying? Now he goes and shoot and kill, because he killed like what, 4 people or something like that?
Yeah. And that's just like old boy that just shot up the tattoo parlors. They had all kinds of red flags on him, and they didn't do nothing about it.
Yeah,
they kept saying he was on the radar, and they were watching him, but they didn't do shit about it. So that's why he privileged to the fullest.
Yeah, they some fucked up people.
Yes.
My thoughts is this. I hope that dude gets a whole major life sentence, and I hope that he gets fucked up in prison multitudes of times, because what he did was fucking atrocity. And the fact that he could act up in court, whereas Mr. Darrell Brooks, he was clearly like not right, and he was crying and shit, and he felt true remorse as we watched him go through that court. Since even if they're telling him one of those lives out of 8 is a life sentence to be convicted of 1, but we already know he's gonna be sitting in jail for fucking a good 80 million life sentences. However, he was clearly distraught. This little white boy goes in there. He don't like what the fucking judge is saying to him. He starts to storm off and make scenes and shit. And I don't give a fuck if he is in a crazy suit. That motherfucker is clearly angry, clearly not insane, and he should deserve to get mopped and fucking all kind of other shit when he gets in there. I hope they do it.
I wish they could put me in this cell with that motherfucker, because I love to get in the cell with his bitch ass.
Right.
I show him how to. Yeah.
Our little black children like that, like
put me in the cell with him for a good. Now it wouldn't even be an hour, because when I finish with his bitch ass, his neck's broke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you see, that's the thing. Like, if y'all read, Michael Bradley is a white guy who white people banned. They banned him, and he has a book called The Ice Man Inherited.
Oh yeah. I heard about that book.
Yeah, I got that book. Okay. And to be honest with you, John Henry Clark actually did like a forward on it, you know, and was critiquing, basically, you know, breaking it down. And what he was saying in that book about how white man is destructive, how their very aggressiveness, you know, he basically just spills out everything about how fucked up they are, you know. And I like studied that book down to a T down, and realized, you know, just like even how the white women, you know what I'm saying, how they are toward white men, because they were gay and homosexuals, they were faggots, you know what I'm saying. So what they is while they were sleeping with little boys and shit, the women was feeling left out and shit. So they started their own sexist movement. So when you get the sexist shit, that's because white women felt like they needed some power. So when you see all these black women say, I'm a sexist, it's like, you ain't no motherfucking sexist. You're a fucking dumbass, because first of all, you're not even fucking paying attention that the people that you fucking trying to imitate is people that were sitting up there that was basically there was even white women trying to be slave owners. They don't even talk about that. They don't talk about the white women that was.
They don't talk about
like
women slave owners. Nope.
Yeah, they don't talk about that shit.
They don't talk about the Lady Lowry's. There was a long list of them. Lady Lowry, she used to decapitate her slaves and put different body parts on different body parts and all kinds of sick shit. She was a serial killer. They had to run her out of New Orleans. She was so bad. The white supremacists had to run her out of New Orleans back to France because she was so evil and demonic.
Yeah. They all fucked up, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna move us to our next topic, and that is Governor Polis has reduced an illegal immigrant's time from 110 years to 10 years. So, to give context, there was an illegal immigrant. They want us to call them undocumented workers, but they're really illegal immigrants who killed a whole bunch of people when his truck malfunctioned on I-70 in 2019, and he tried to flee the scene.
Didn't he run?
Yeah, he tried to
run, didn't he?
He fled the scene, and they were going to sentence him to 110 years. And then they had a big old protest at the state capitol where they were asking the governor to grant him clemency. And they reduced the sentence from 110 years to 10 years.
Yep. My thoughts on that. That was going to happen because the protests and the Hispanic community decided to pull a petition together, blah, 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 whatever, right? I didn't think it was, okay, look, maybe 110 years was a bit excessive. Maybe should have got like 30, 40 years. However, because he made this big old, because the people made this scene, that's how this happened. You know, the governor and the judge, everybody's gonna try to appease the people by any means necessary. But when it comes to us, we get no appeasement, okay? And so I was like, this dude not only fled the scene, he missed the fucking runaway truck ramp. He didn't know how to read English. There was clearly a runaway truck ramp that he missed. When he was carrying wood or whatever, he hit like 4 people. He had a big old explosion on the fucking freeway, and he killed those people. Then he left. All right, whatever. He's been in prison, you know, because you got all the Hispanic community out there, you know, making a big old protest about this shit. I wasn't feeling it. I was like, dude, you're not even supposed to be here. First place.
Yeah, how do you pronounce his name?
I don't even know. Let me see. What is it?
Rogel.
Well, the thing about that,
Rogel Aguilera Moderos.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just reading out his name. I was just going to read this article. Can you see the article?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, it says Denver today. This is from our Fox News affiliate out of Denver, Colorado. Today, Governor Jared Polis announced that he has granted a commutation to Rogel Aguilar Maderos, with his current sentence of 110 years reduced now to 10 years. The governor disclosed that he learned that a relative of Aguilar Maderos' attorney works in the governor's office. His person has had no involvement in the commutation process and works in an unrelated capacity to this matter, as well as was unaware of the governor's decision. To read past coverage regarding blah, 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 click these links. I'm not doing that. He also issued 2 other commutations, 15 additional pardons, and signed an executive order granting 1,351 pardons for conviction of possession of 2 ounces or less of marijuana. The executive orders
Oh, wow.
can be found here and here. The governor granted commutations to Ronald Johnson and Nicholas Wells. Mr. Johnson is granted parole effective January 15, 2022, with terms and conditions of parole to be set by the parole board. Mr. Wells is parole eligible on January 15, 2022. The Governor Polis recreated the Executive Clemency Advisory Board in 2019. The board reviews clemency applications and makes recommendations to the governor for commutations and pardons. Governor Polis signed House Bill 2021-1090 on March 20th, 2021, increasing the amount of marijuana that adults 21 or older in Colorado can legally possess from 1 ounce to 2 ounces. This bill.
So he was pushing it.
Yeah. This bill builds on the precedent set by Amendment 64, passed in 2012, and the bipartisan House Bill 20-1424, authorizing the governor to grant pardons to a class of defendants convicted of possession of up to 2 ounces of marijuana. The marijuana pardon applies state level convictions of possession, and it just goes on.
So the thing about it is, and I tell this to all my Spanish brothers and sisters out there, you know, the first thing that I tell them is that when the white man sat there and was trying to get rid of us, and was sitting up there and they was basically impregnating the black woman, killing the men and children, just like the white boy that sat there and did all that shit when he was running up and killing them in a car and shit. They didn't want nothing to do with us, but because of our genes stronger than theirs, there was still some that had melanin. Even though they might have had straight hair, but it still got nappy. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I was explaining to one Mexican brother I knew, I said, did you know that, man, in Mexico, they used to lynch Mexicans? Now, he said he knew, but I don't think he really knew until I broke it down to him. He said, well, I heard so. I said, you probably didn't know. So the reason why they were lynching Mexicans is because they were looking like us. So in the time of Jim Crow, if you looked at like you was black, you got your ass hung or killed. So they were sitting up there, they was killing a lot of like Mexicans because they wanted pure white, pale, where you can see the veins and the blood line and all that shit through their veins and shit. They was trying to do that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they were doing that. So they use our Spanish brothers and sisters as a scapegoat to try to get over, to try to like make something, you know, like through the cross or something. You know, but like I said,
in the 1930s,
it's gonna be
the Hispanics, they had the opportunity to be classified as Hispanics, as their own individual race group, and they opted out of that and claimed to be whites. So now you got a lot of Hispanics that are white on everything, but they're telling us
that's why they
kind of brown coalition.
Well, and that's why they call them white offspring.
Yeah,
it's because of the simple fact is because of the father and the body. You know, like you're basically just like your father. You know what I'm saying? That basically this you're just like your father. You know, who's a murderer, who's did this, who did that. You know, killed, murdered, did this. You know, and that's basically like how the white person is. You know what I'm saying? Because they're murderers and stuff like that. So when like our Spanish brothers and stuff like that, when they start waking up like they're doing now, the white people is going to take down their own government. But our Spanish brothers and sisters is going to take down white people because they're going to start figuring out, it's like, well, you know what? I am Black. I'm melanated. You know what I'm saying? I have a culture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go to Mexico, you go to South America, you go anywhere around the world. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I love wanting to go to Oaxaca, Mexico, which is, I think it's OAXU, Oaxaca. I know it's in Mexico, but that's where like a lot of the Olmec heads and stuff is. That was like West African. BBC when they had put a program up where they was talking about how Black people, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of Mexicans is finding out that they have African blood in them and stuff like that. They're gonna be the ones to take out white people. You know what I'm saying? And it's just coming. It's leading up to it. As much people that I know, that I see that it go through, you know, it's just like, nah, you know, because, you know, they more brothers and sisters to us than a white person is, you know what I'm saying? Because white people, they only care about that privilege, but they can't even, the privilege that they think they got, they can't even work that well and stuff like that. You know, they just
savages.
They're insipid people.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you to a certain extent, but then at the same time, we got to address that there's claiming white on everything. And they are being used as a buffer class against us. So I would love to see them rise up against white people and fight against white supremacy. I would love to see that. The reality is a lot of them are not fighting against white supremacy. They are trying to get in bed with white supremacy. And this is why we're telling them to hold their own nuts, because we cannot be caping for these other groups. We've been caping for all these other groups, and it's been detrimental to our existence and our survival. So
I'm trying to hook up my other speaker.
Okay. The next topic is Peter Spencer.
Hold up.
So I'm gonna move us to the next topic. The next topic is Peter Spencer. Is a Jamaican immigrant who was killed by white supremacists while on a hunting trip in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to hook up my speaker.
Dismiss. Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay, so in Pennsylvania, there was a black man that was killed by some white supremacists. A Jamaican immigrant. He was murdered in cold blood, and the people that did it are talking about it was self-defense. So we see the Kyle Rittenhouse effect in full effect, Black family. So I'm gonna play the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
State police say Spencer, who had a fiance and unborn child, was found shot on Carl's Road in Rockland Township in the early morning hours of December 12th.
We're talking 6 bullets into the chest, 2 into the buttocks, and 1 we have a different opinion.
So he was on a hunting trip with these white supremacists. His lady was real suspicious when she dropped him off about these white supremacists that were claiming to be his friend. And then when she goes to pick him up a few days later, she finds out he's dead. So this is cold-blooded murder. As you can see from the headline, Black immigrant Peter Spencer was shot on a hunting trip with friend in what family fears is a modern-day lynching.
Wow. Terrible.
The family of a black immigrant has blasted his death as a modern-day lynching. This article is from the U.S. Sun. He was shot dead while allegedly on a hunting trip with 5 white men. Peter Spencer, 29, was reportedly shot at least 9 times earlier this month, meaning last month, as the men with him claimed they acted in self-defense, his family says.
Jesus.
And that's him right there. Hope this is sharing. Yeah. That's him and his fiance, and she's pregnant. He had been dropped to a cabin in Venango County, Pennsylvania, in the afternoon of December 11th by his pregnant fiancee, Carmela King, who said she received a text shortly afterward to say he was staying the night. At 2:30 a.m. on December 12th, police were called to the cabin on Carl's Road and found Peter dead at the scene. A 25-year-old man was taken into custody, but Pennsylvania State Police provided no further details when contacted by the U.S. Sun. The multiple guns were also reportedly found at the scene, but no charges have been filed. We are talking 6 bullets in the chest, 2 into the buttocks, and 1 we have a different opinion either through the mouth or from the neck out of the mouth. Tim Stevens, CEO of the Blacc Political Empowerment Project, alleged to WTAE. Peter, who was originally from Jamaica, had reportedly been contacted by a man he used to work with on Snapchat about a hunting trip. The man allegedly brought along his own friends as well. 2 GoFundMe pages set up by the family said. This time he was taken directly into the woods and not this person's mother's home. To the fiance, she didn't feel comfortable with that, Stevens said of Peter's arrival at the cabin. Peter's brother, Tahala Spencer, claimed on the fundraising page that the 29-year-old was murdered in cold blood. This is a hate crime, he wrote. Peter was murdered in Rockland Township, Pennsylvania, in a backwater rural town where he was completely vulnerable and cut off from everything and everyone. He was slaughtered and killed in what I consider an act of modern-day lynching. Family slams cops. Peter's fiance has established a separate campaign page for legal fees, as the family says it is fighting to receive justice for the murder. He was invited on a camping trip by a friend, she wrote. This invitation ultimately resulted in Peter being shot multiple times while in the presence of 5 white men. I gotta bring him back on. Yeah. I don't know when he got off, but we're talking about the brother that got killed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I had heard it. I was trying to get my Bluetooth working.
Oh, okay. He was the only individual at the campsite, and it's being portrayed as the aggressor. King also claimed that the Franklin State Trooper's Office will not give Peter's family nor myself any information regarding this incident. He has been turned away several times while trying to reach out for information regarding what happened. On behalf of the Spencer family, along with his unborn child, he asked the public to help support by bringing recognition and justice to this case, she added. Any contribution will be applied to solving the murder of a man. No charges filed. The Blacc Political Empowerment Project has called for answers as to why no charges have been filed. We demand an immediate investigation of this murder by the Venango County District Attorney, the U.S. Attorney General, and the PA State Attorney General, it said in a statement. CEO Stevens has also blasted the alleged claim that the men were acting in self-defense, which we think is a defenseless defense, an unexplainable defense. We can't help but wonder if there was some racial animosity and if this possibly could be a hate crime, he said. This is serious, and people need to know they can't do this in Pennsylvania and hopefully anywhere else in the nation. The Pennsylvania State Police are investigating the case. So far, only an initial report has been released. This report did not include any details on the suspect or the motive. That's the brother right there. May he rest in power. He was only 29 years old.
So it's a brother, right?
Yeah, Jamaican immigrant by the name of Peter Spencer.
Okay.
That's him right there.
Yeah, because I didn't hear that part. Okay. Yeah, because I had heard it, but I was up there trying to make sure my phone worked.
Yeah, so beware of these white supremacists, Black family. Now, as foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, we are very weary of these white supremacists. So we're not going on no damn hunting trip with no damn white supremacists.
Fuck no.
Especially, he only knew one of them, and the rest of them, he didn't even know who they were. And he ends up mysteriously dead. It's not a coincidence, Black family. It's just not. So keep your head on a swivel. Don't trust these cave Neanderthals at all. Let this be a lesson learned that they cannot be trusted. And they purposely put him in an area where he was secluded, where he was away from all his friends and family, and he couldn't call for help. So they're trying to claim it was self-defense. It was not self-defense.
That was clear-cut murder.
Got trolls.
Clear-cut murder, man. And don't go on no hunting trips. Stay away from white people and groups of fucking more than one. That's what I took from this shit. They obviously had some nefarious reasoning to destroy this man, and they did. And like I said, we're not going on no fucking hunting trip. Got our motherfucking guns and fucking awarenesses and whatnot. So I don't recommend anybody else did, because you never know. Then we have no friends, we have no allies, and they could be trying to get us. Because
it kind of sounds like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They could be just trying to get us, just to knock us off, man, and stay away from them. They ain't got no good intentions for us. At the end of the day, they always show their supremacist ways.
Go ahead, LaJosh or Christianata.
No, I was just saying, like, it sounds more like that movie Nowhere to Run. Do you remember that movie? I think it was with Ice-T.
Yeah.
And they went out and they was hunting the people. That's what it sounds like, a lot more like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all bad. They hunted him, they killed him, and left his new baby fatherless, which is something they like seeing, and that's terrible, really terrible, really terrible.
Yeah, so off targets. They targeted this brother. They knew he was an immigrant. They knew he didn't know nothing about dealing with white supremacists like that, and they caught him slipping.
Yeah. Clearly, caught him slipping.
Yeah.
There's so many questions and not enough answers,
And yeah, this is cold-blooded murder, and this should be a hate crime. Period.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, they ain't gonna even try to look at it like that.
No. But like they were saying, it's a defenseless defense. They're trying to claim self-defense every time they do something to a black person. They claim it's self-defense. That's the Rittenhouse effect. Kyle Rittenhouse is emboldened a whole bunch of white supremacists to do whatever they want to do. Just like Trump emboldened them when he was in office, people like Kyle Rittenhouse are emboldening them even further. So they feel they can get away with cold-blooded murder and claim that it was self-defense. And they'll just get off like Kyle Rittenhouse did.
Yeah, well, he ain't really getting off. He really ain't getting off. You know, they may think he may be getting off, but he ain't getting off.
Well, he's in hiding now. I mean, he was making his rounds on Fox News and shit like that, but he ain't going across no more state lines with no AR-15.
Well, if you read the book called The Curse of Pharaohs, it talks about when the white folks had sat there and they robbed Kemet. And when they robbed Kemet, they had to put a lot of the stuff that they robbed on a big ship. So they come up with this ship called the Titanic that even God couldn't sink, as they said. But it was a USS ship.
Yeah.
But you can like look it up, you know what I'm saying? You know, you Google the right words and they put a lot of that on the ships. But what they didn't know is that because of the ancestors and how our ancestors work, that all the Jews and all the stuff that they had on the ship, it guided it into hitting the iceberg that made it sink. But then once it sank, you know, the guy, I forgot his name, but he was already told, you know, he was gonna die a mysterious death and he should stop messing with whatever he was doing, but he went ahead and did it. So as he went ahead and did it, they had all this on the ship and then it sunk, you know, and it went under. And they were saying like white people kill bugs, they kill different animals and stuff, and that spirit comes back and kills their people, you know what I'm saying, in the next life and stuff like that. So you should hear about like all this shit happening to like white kids and white people, and they just die, you know, off of a mosquito bite or even the fucking so-called COVID. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is just some shit that they reaped up that's getting ready to come back on them. And it's getting even deeper than that.
Yeah. It is. It really is. Okay, so I'm moving to our next topic. Unless you had anything to add, babe. Did we lose Ramel?
Yeah, we lost.
All right,
he's
so
on here no more?
Yeah, we lost him.
He said he was going to try to hang in as much as he could. He takes his medicine. He can't hang. He'll be back.
Yeah. Well, you know.
All right, so our next topic is leaving the Democratic Plantation. It's been long overdue. So as we've seen, Biden, Kamala Harris, we're not getting nothing tangible from this administration. So
I ain't never heard of Kamala Harris. I'm like, who the fuck is she?
She was the district attorney in San Francisco. She was the attorney general in California, and she was the state senator of California before she ran for president in 2019, 2020, and then Biden picked her up and made her his VP candidate.
So the thing I tell people, who is she? And how come she ain't doing nothing for black females?
She is a
They're
Jamaican.
like, oh, we got this black sister. She ain't Jamaican. She's fucking white. Because anybody that I mean, in my opinion, she white.
Yeah,
she ain't did shit. Yeah,
India.
you know what I'm saying?
You know, India got that caste system.
Oh yeah, well,
the higher up class of the caste system. So yeah, she ain't doing nothing for black people. She definitely ain't doing nothing for black women. And
well, the funny thing, not to cut y'all off, but it's just like, think about it. What has she did? You know, like even when Obama had Biden's little little hussy that you don't even see nothing about her. You know what I'm saying? Shit, maybe Biden is fucking Harris. You never know. But the thing about it is, you know what I'm saying, with his old evil eyes and shit. It's like, so what? You know, they just fake, man. I mean, like, she ain't doing shit for no black community. You know, he ain't doing nothing.
Nope. He never said he was gonna do anything. At least Trump met with Ice Cube. Biden told him he was gonna meet after the election. And that still hasn't happened.
Nope.
But
because they don't want it.
Getting back to this Democratic Plantation, this is an article that says black people it's time to leave the Democratic Party. Is it time for black people to leave the Democratic Party? So I'm going to share this real quick.
Big time.
Yeah, we need our own independent party.
Well,
Black Panther Party.
We have the Mahali Party. We have the Unity Party. We have several parties. It's just people aren't really in tune on what the parties are and how to get involved with them. But here we go. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So this article from Newsweek says, opinion. It's time for Black America to break up with the Democratic Party.
We were Republicans first.
We will change the trajectory of this Commonwealth.
We are ready to become a Boston for everyone.
I am Black and I have been Black all my life. This campaign was about this city and the people in it, from every corner and every background in the city.
Yeah, so as you can see, the Democrats are sinking ship, you know.
Well, the first thing is, black folks was always Republicans.
Yeah, originally.
We originally started off, but you tell that to any of these little bourgeois motherfuckers, they'll sit there and say, that's not true. I'm like, okay.
Or they'll say that was back then.
Yeah, they're like, well, back then, you know what I'm saying? It's like it only makes more sense that we were. They're fucked up.
Yeah.
Man.
They're not our friends. They don't mean us no good. They're two sides of the same wicked bird of white supremacy. Really, neither one of the parties mean us no good. So yeah, it's time that we go the independent route and create our own party.
I'm with that.
So here in the state of Colorado, we have a party called the Unity Party. I've been a member of it for the past 2 years. I'm the junior chairman of the party. And Sekou is the senior chairman of the party. And we pushed for reparations with that party, and they supported it wholeheartedly. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. When Sekou ran for mayor in 2019, he pushed for reparations. That was on his platform, and they supported it wholeheartedly. So that's an option. And then there's the Mahali Party, which is based out of the South, which is based out of like Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida. And they're running black candidates with black agendas and black policies. So there's options out there. It's just people got to do the due diligence and look for other options besides the Democratic and the Republican parties.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to see it. We should have divorced them a long time ago. And not only that, but right now, there's nothing going on for black people. And it doesn't even matter at how many black people get into office. If they're not about the black agenda, then they ain't saying what we need to hear. So it don't even matter. That's pretty much where I'm at. I don't feel good, baby.
We're almost to your topics.
I don't feel good.
And all the autopsies of the Democrats' recent shell-lacking at the polls. I'm going to let them read it. Fair use, YouTube, for education and commentary. This article from Newsweek is time for the... So now that you have the option to have it read it for you, so I'm going to have it read it for us. So listen up, Black family.
It's time for Black America to break up with the Democratic Party opinion. In all the autopsies of the Democrats' recent shellacking at the polls, a crucial storyline has been left out: the large gains the Republicans made with Black Americans in Virginia. Republican Glenn Youngkin, Virginia's new governor, received historic levels of Black support, turning Trump's gains with Black Americans from an aberration into a trend. The truth is, all is not well between Black America and the Democratic Party, and the November 2021 election night results might very well turn out to be the rumblings of a breakup that is long overdue. In Black America, there is a growing contempt for an influential far left that talks of woke game and diversity and appropriates our struggle in their ads and talking points, but offers our communities little beyond the feeling of inclusion. Far left agenda items like abolish ICE, defund the police, and other social justice mainstays make use of provocative wordsmithing to commodify the Black American experience of racial exclusion while providing career and other benefits to white liberals. The truth is, white liberals have for the last 30 years used Black American civil rights wins to advance their own agendas. They've implemented destructive criminal justice laws and incomplete education paradigms. They have conflated discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender with the horror of anti-Black racism. They have prioritized immigrants and those they presume are legitimate refugees at our expense, distributing redress and now possibly even reparations to those who knowingly broke U.S. immigration laws. While progressives accuse the right of not talking about anti-Black racism, when the leftists talk about anti-Black racism, they do so to use our pain, not for our benefit. They treat Black Americans like mascots rather than partners. You can tell by the mission creep. Notice how articles, speeches, and advocacy start by talking about Black women or Black people as the recipients of harm, and then shift to people of color, naming a laundry list of identity groups in their proposed redress. Think of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's offensive appropriating quip, "I always say Latinos are Black." At best, the marriage between Black Americans and Democrats has been an arranged one. Back when Republicans and Democrats switched costumes, Nixon-era Republicans were so uncomfortable with Black Americans that the lesser of two evils became the Black American way. But that code of conduct has since lost its utility. Consider that it was Republican President Donald Trump whose First Step Act released thousands of Black men from prison, men put there by Democrats' crime bill, pushed by our very own Democratic President Biden. Consider the economy under Trump, the historically low levels of Black unemployment. But on behalf of Democrats who use and ignore us, we were supposed to see in Trump an enemy. Thus, Joe Biden campaigning on the message that a Black American who doesn't know if they want to vote for him ain't really Black. Today, it's commonplace for white liberals to use hysterical language about white supremacy to gain audience and traction, mobilizing far-reaching woke narratives that further erase Black Americans and descendants of U.S. slaves and deny us the chance to advocate for ourselves and receive tangible resources that would improve our lives. The left-leaning paternalism of white liberals is even more sinister because they claim to advocate for the oppressed, using the Black American experience to credential their platforms while supplying little substance to Black America. Every social justice effort since the 1960s Negro civil rights movement owes its success to its use of the descendants of slaves. Yet those who rise to prominence and status do not necessarily prioritize results for Black American citizens in general, and they certainly do not funnel tangible resources directly to our communities. That is the liberal way. Use Black American pain to demonize the right and make yourself feel virtuous, then prioritize every other group but us. It's not just the elected elite and academics, either. These appropriations of the Black American experience happen in everyday life, especially in nonprofit workspaces where Black women's expertise is used to credential clueless white leadership structures that capitalize on Black marginalization rather than implementing a vision to end it. In too many spaces, Black nonprofit workers have job security until they advocate for the interests of Black people and speak up for fairness in the organization's culture. The Black leader who justifies his/her silence about Black America's specific needs and lends his or her body to justify white liberal abandonment. The white conservative who repels Black voters from the Republican Party because of racial bias or policies that closely resemble racism in action. The white liberal who is too enamored with their own sense of relative white goodness to notice or care that they are hurting Black America via perverted appropriation of social justice. We are all part of the problem.
Yep.
For each, the question hanging in the air for Black America is a simple one. What have you done for me lately? And the answer is, not a damn thing. There should be hell to pay for that. Black Americans and descendants of slaves in particular should partner with political stakeholders based on values and economic outcomes rather than something as blind as party affiliation. This should be too obvious to say aloud, and I believe that soon it will be. As a seventh-generation freedom-loving American and a descendant of U.S. slaves, the new code of political conduct should be, if we don't eat, then nobody eats, and may those who take from our plate choke on what they've stolen. It's time for Black Americans to break up with the Democratic Party. Yes. If they want our votes, let them earn them. Yeah. Pamela Denise Long is CEO of Youth-Centric Therapy Services, a business focused on helping organizations implement trauma-informed practices and diversity, equity, inclusion, and anti-racism DEIA at the systems level. Denise is creator of Humane Anti-Racism, an online training process that puts dialogue and relationships at the center of anti-racist problem solving within networks. Connect with Ms. Long online at www.youthcentrics.com or at Youthcentrics on social media. The views in this article are the writer's own.
Right on. So that sister just said everything I've been saying for over a year. Oh, right on, sister. Yeah, so it's definitely time for us to break up with the Democratic Party. If that article wasn't enough to sway you, I don't know what will be. But they keep taking our votes for granted. Politics is a gift, not a gift, excuse me. Politics is an exchange, not a gift. And we just keep giving our vote away, and we're not getting nothing in return for it. It's quid pro quo. If I give you my vote, I want something in return. But our people still fail to realize this basic logic of politics. So here in 2022, we're saying, look, enough is enough of this shit. If they want us to vote in these midterms, they're going to have to do something tangible for us. Otherwise, we're not going to participate. and the Republicans can take the House and the Senate. For all we care, because it really doesn't matter what party's in office, we're still under white supremacy at the end of the day. Dots.
I agree. I concur.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you have anything to add, Christian Martin?
No, that's pretty much a handful right there. So,
yeah,
you know, that's pretty much it is. Democrats sold us in slavery, but they don't talk about that.
Yep, the Dixiecrats.
But that's what they go by.
Damn Dixiecrats. So it's time to divorce the Democratic Party. It's a wrap for them. They are imploding. So all these people that's talking about you need to vote blue, hell no, Black family. If they're not producing tangibles, just sit it out. Sit the midterms out. We got to send a clear message that they cannot keep taking our vote for granted.
Yeah.
All right, so we're down to our last two topics of the night, and that is the Unhoused Neighbor news and Unhoused Neighbor sweep. So give us an update, babe. What's happening?
I'm sorry, Black family. I'm sick and I feel like crap. I'll put it this way: the sweeps continue to happen, unbeknownst to us. We're not getting no memos of when they're coming. We did happen to go. So I had to go to the hospital this week. Just terrible behavior at St. Joseph's. Terrible, unscrupulous behavior over there. We went, and as we were cruising around in our east side, walking around to the hospital. We noticed that the major encampments that were right there are gone, and we did not get the memo. So whoever's in charge of that, Denver Homeless Out Loud, put us back on the mailing list so we know. So we can be out there, because this is unscrupulous behavior. We are not there to protect our Black family, to look out for our unhoused neighbors, and that is a tragedy in itself. Unfortunately, this week and possibly a couple of days in the next week, we will not be attending any sweeps because we're healing. Somehow, some way, the coronavirus has hit me in the worst way. Did not even know, because we practice the most crucial hand washing, mask wearing politics around here. And I believe it's because I went out to a restaurant with my family that I had seen in over a decade, and I believe someone at the restaurant possibly got me sick. I then went home. I had no idea, but I mean to say, and I have a heart condition, so I was under the awareness that my heart is acting up, and in fact, it was probably the opposite of that. I'm not sure. They sent me home without observing the situation, which I and Che here both agreed that they should have kept me and observed what was going on with my heart and the pain that I'm living inside with my chest and whatnot. They did not, though. Instead, I got a phone call, and it was the worst news ever in our lives. So we are fighting it. And, in order to keep our unhoused community safe from this atrocity, chose to sit it out and get well before we go out there and fight with them, for them. It's probably for the best. It's the most responsible thing to do. We did get a second opinion today. Shout out to Carol. Came and gave us another test just in case, because can't believe everything the hospital says, especially when They like to just not look at people who are really sick and go ahead and send them home. So fuck you, St. Joseph's. I want a second opinion. The other thing is we are avidly looking into our other brother at the beloved community, right?
Beloved Tiny Home Village.
Beloved Tiny Home Village, who is going through a whole lot of racial injustice. There's a lot of bigotry. There's a lot of racial hate going on towards this man. And there's been physical altercations. The police are not taking it seriously. We, however, here at Frontline Black News are taking it extremely serious because the man should not be complaining as much as he is about racists and drug use and child pornography and the creations of drugs at this tiny home village, and the fact that the people there are all about the bread and not about his well-being. The police do not take him serious. City council don't take him seriously. We, however, are taking it extremely serious. I wrote the gentleman back today after he wrote several emails. I've been extremely sick, and I apologize to him for not getting back to him sooner. I didn't realize that, when I've been sick, I know how to disengage from my phone and not pick it up or leave social media alone. And so it was my bad, and I had to apologize to the gentleman and let him know that we do take him seriously, and we are very aware, very conscious of what he's going through, and that we're gonna put that on blast. No more white supremacy passes should be given to these fucks. I don't care who they are. When you allow white people to threaten a black man with a pistol, threaten to beat on him or harm him in any way because he just wants to live at peace in this tiny home village that it takes a lot to get into, yeah, we're going to stand up for him. That's just the right thing to do. And whether nobody else has his back, we do.
Right.
So that's what's going on. We're going to take a slight break and just keep our ears to the pavement. And I got some people out there that are going to, keep us in the loop of things. Well, I myself, who am usually on the ground, takes this time to go ahead and get well. It is a major struggle because I, for one, could not afford to get sick. I have the weakest immune system in human history. So I can't fight it off. I'm doing my best, though. I am doing my best. So I'm going to take a 7-day quarantine, 8-day quarantine, since we have no idea when this happened. I'm just speculating because I rarely go anywhere. And we practice like double masking around this bitch. Hand washing, 6 feet apart, limited interactions. So how it happened, have no idea. And I feel like it's an atrocity. And it should have never happened to us, and it didn't happen to us in almost 2 years, and now look, you know what I mean? Just when you thought you were impervious, you're not. And I cussed out a gentleman today. I cussed out a white guy today in the front lobby. And I was like, because he was questioning us getting a COVID test right there. And look, man, it's important. The testing, it obviously is happening. And if we can get second opinions, by all means, let's do that. If we can get tested, by all means. I'm not getting the vax, but I would be damned if he talks to my mate or our guests like they ain't shit. So you just kept it pushing. In hindsight, I should have just stopped, but I couldn't help myself. That man was really rude and extremely out of pocket. And this building is known for the worst things. He could have saw worse things today versus 3 innocent, non-drug using individuals just looking out for their health and minding their own business. Then he could have spent his time fucking off with the people in the front of the building versus harassing us. So yeah, he did get checked. So I find it quite amusing. Other than that, the sweeps continue to happen. I don't like that they don't let us know. I don't like that they're not telling us, and I feel like it's on purpose. And we're gonna get to the bottom of it as soon as they get well. Thank you. The only thing I do want to say is, Black family, hold your vote like you hold your Swilla. Don't give it out, and let them give you something tangible for it. I'm gonna go ahead and step away because I'm running a fever and I want to lay down. I'm dizzy. So, thank you, Black family. Thank you, everybody, for watching and tuning in. Join us for the RVA, and if you haven't seen the RVA in the year in review, please do so. It is quite interesting.
What is it? Not to cut you off, you got to build your immune system. There's stuff they don't tell you about. So the best way to build your immune system is doing like a lot of sea vegetables. You want to do like kelp. You know, you want to do, as a matter of fact, I should grab my book and show you in there and like show the book. Hold on, matter of fact, let me go grab it. There's different remedies that you can do. I mean, I don't give a shit. After the doctors had killed my father, which I developed OCD from, you know what I'm saying, watching that shit. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, you know, which was actually at St. Joseph, believe it or not. But yeah. But I mean, my brother won't step foot, but I mean, I still go up in there because I'm not really afraid of these white folks and all the bullshit that they be talking about. But hold on, let me find it real quick.
Every day is a trial and error. I'm the last person that you damn near got to force to go to the hospital. I hate the hospital. And I'm so uncomfortable. They gave me a oxycodone for the pain that I've been feeling. My heart, my chest is so excruciating. That pill.
I don't know if you can zoom in on that. But as it shows which would be Mars, Jupiter, and Neptune. And as it shows about like whole grains, easy protein, bean, curd, yogurt, others milk, others small amount of fruit, juices, fruits, tomatoes, and apples. There's a
Josh.
I'll step away for a minute, but Jesse gonna close out the show. I'm gonna step away. I can't hang. I really can't hang. So I'm all moving around and I'm just achy and dizzy. Thank you for coming on and spending time with us here at Frontline Black News. And our brother Ramel, understanding, says thank you, and he'll be back on here on one of our other programs. But join us Sunday for God versus the Devil on Blog Talk. Tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming on, Josh. Thank you. I'm gonna step away.
Yeah, you good. I know people can't read it.
I
My
can't
name
say
is kind of hard.
I can barely see
Prishamata, which means heaven gives me peace. Yeah, just keep your head up, sis. You good.
Yeah, I'm gonna step away.
You know what I'm saying? You got your king right there by you, so you got everything good. You know what I'm saying?
This is body fighting off everything like a fucking champ. I am jealous like a motherfucker. He's just not sick as I. He's fighting it off like a champion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And once you finish the broadcast, call me in like 10 minutes, my brother. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we can I can actually give you some. I got some good resources I want to give you and stuff like that. Especially about my new trading company that I got coming that I want to help out Black people with. You know what I'm saying? So I can help you network that.
Talk about that real quick on the show. Let the people know what you got going on.
So I'm a member of the National Council of Geocosmic Research Center, where it deals with how the universe, the cosmics and stuff works with human behavior. And how right now that there's ways of us actually keeping ourselves more healthy with the planets, like with our melanin and our skin and stuff like that. Those that's my Facebook friend can actually see. I have a trading company where I'm actually interested and where I'm showing how to progress in like buying gold, buying silver, buying minerals, by doing things that's going to keep us as a people, as a cosmic community that we are with our melanated skin, on making it better and stuff. So I'm like always busy and stuff like that, but you know, that's what I do, you know, and I'm real deep into that. Actually about to be a mental health peer specialist, so I can work on doing it in a holistic way as an astrologist would do, which is way better than a psychologist, because psychologist only goes off of human behavior, but don't go off the planet. Going out the planets and stuff like that to make it better that we can be a actually melanated race, how we always was before.
Lady Chase said if
truly you gods and earths and stuff like that.
Lady Chase said if you need a client, she'll sign up. If you need a client, she'll sign up.
All right, well, all she has to do is just give me her information, and then I could be able to help her out. I do charts, you know, because, you know, like it's kind of like this. I tell people, I say Enoch name it initiate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he lived, as they say, 300 years and had 65 years added on, which is basically a year. So not to experience death, but he was taken because he every day walked, learned how to walk, talk, live like our literal, you know what I'm saying, and awaken all the trees of life in our body and stuff like that. And it's very powerful that our sisters even get more of the help because, you know, everything was matriarch anyways. So, I mean, you know, I'm really serious about this, you know, and I have my book coming out this year. Can't give the title yet because I want to really put it out there for our people and stuff like that. But it's actually on like healing because I'm actually a healer. So I actually help out our people how they can get their purpose as opposed to going to a school where a white person give you a piece of paper, and that piece of paper basically is already in your DNA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, I work with that, you know, and I've been doing this now about all my life, but as far as getting deep into the astrology, it's almost about 7 years.
Let us know whatever we can do to help push that.
Yeah, and, you know, like I said, if any information, just, you know how they can contact through Facebook, and then I can sit up there and do my best at going ahead and helping out.
Tell the people your Facebook page so they know how to get in contact with you.
Krishamata Arnatir, which means I actually had the reading done by my uncle through the ancestors, which means heaven gives me peace. I'm one with God. I'm working with a bunch of other like astrologists too. That's dope. I mean, very dope. I mean, it's phenomenal. The type of things that I'm getting ready to bring and stuff like that. So, you know, if you're interested, you know, which I'm pretty sure if you melanated, you're interested.
Yeah.
Because there's a galactic alignment that's getting ready to happen. So around 2025, 2026, the planets and galaxies are lining up. And that's why you see a lot of stuff that's going on with the energy right now, especially that's getting ready to happen toward white people and stuff like that. And they stole our knowledge, even like in the book Stolen Legacy. White folks, it takes a lifetime to study what we do. So the stuff they stole, whether if it's 12 years, 13 years, whatever, will never accomplish the knowledge that we have in our DNA that they can try to do. You know, that's why they believe in the flat earth, because they can't travel out. You know, whether they got melanin in their eyes or whatever, you know, we astral project through all different levels and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, you know, we got to keep it deep and stuff like that. You know, so big ups to everybody listening and stuff like that. Hopefully I didn't be too jumpy around, you know what I'm saying, that I got you on the right path where you understand what I'm talking about.
No, you're good. I just put your information in so y'all can find him at Krishamata Neta.
Yeah, Auneter. Yeah, AUNETER.
Yeah, so make sure y'all check this brother out. I've been knowing
this brother. And I'll make sure I can. Oh, go ahead.
I've been knowing this brother for a number of years, and he's really about what he's saying. He's talking about. So make sure y'all check this brother out.
Speaking my language, I'm a natural projectionist. So I'm speaking my language right there.
Lady Chase said you're speaking her language right now.
Yeah, I already know. But as much as we be talking, you know, I mean, it even match our chart, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And I think on my page, I just put like a forecast about how right now, how even I believe it's Uranus that's actually in, I think Neptune. And no, actually Uranus is in Taurus.
Jupiter.
But it's funny because white people, they have a star that they worship. Now, Malachi Z. York, the Great, also, you know what I'm saying, that's locked up here in Florence, Colorado for bullshit that white folks try to keep him down with.
Yeah.
He has a book called Man on Ricks. And he talks about that they always want this star, and the star that they want is Jupiter, which is funny because Jupiter only goes only in Sagittarius and Pisces.
Okay.
And their planet is called Jupiter. And Shechem, who actually is a very great master teacher from the Asar Set Society, actually from the Medu Volume 1 and 2, actually in one of his lectures explains about how Jupiter is an unfortunate star, but that star only travels through Pisces and Aries. And Aries deals with your brain. As far as Pisces dealing with like their loss and the prisons and stuff that they go through and stuff like that. So right now, I think Series B will make its way around in another year. And once that starts happening, you know, you'll start seeing all the shit that's getting ready to start happening to white people and why they're acting so irate and insipid. They're just ambiguous ass people, you know, very confusing, don't have no fucking knowledge of themselves. Their hearts don't even belong to them. So as from now until then, you'll start seeing a lot of like crazy stuff that's starting to happen and stuff to them and stuff. You know, so I just say big ups to my black melanated, I'm gonna say melanated people. You know, even though we are the beautifulest thing on this whole cosmos. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Love them all, you know what I'm saying? All my sisters out there and brothers, you know what I'm saying? Just keep your head up, move forward, and shit, just keep moving, you know.
Right on. Appreciate you coming on, Josh. So I'm gonna end the show. The show is this air date of this show is January 1. Huh? You're breaking up. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 43 of the Frontline Black News. We will be back next week with a brand new episode 44. In the meantime, make sure you check out Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The call-in number is 516-418-5996, and press 1 and you'll be added to the queue. Here's the number. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see it. Please call that number tomorrow at 6 p.m. And we'll have the God versus the Devil series. And check out the Revolutionary Agenda, Lady Che's show, and Brother Ramel show on Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then, check us out on Frontline Black News next Saturday at our regular scheduled time of 10 p.m. Peace, love, light, and Black empowerment.
Yeah, I'm still keep getting disconnected.
I was just closing out the show.
Oh, okay then. All right, so peace to everybody. You know what I'm saying? One love and everything.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna call you when
all right, for sure.
All right. Peace.
Peace.